Barak the Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Want to just touch on the fact that New York being one of a major financial contributor at some point, still is to a certain degree. You know, when the NYs or NYPD are quitting, okay, there's got to be some major reasons, okay, because off the street, these Centurions can make a lot of money off the streets. If you've seen the movie Brooklyn's Finest, came out I think 2006. Watch that. That gives you sort of a little inkling into the world of these Centurions. And for them, because they make a lot of money off the street, they've got a fair bit of clout, and they can get away with a lot of ish. And for them to leave so drastically, you know, there's got to be some major things happening. Okay, let's just see what they're saying. And I'm agreeing with the news, so you know, I'm just presenting what they're already saying. I'm not deterring anything. But at the end of the day, this is just regarding free speech. But let's see. Even speech isn't free these days. But let's see what they've got to say.
Mass exodus of officers leaving the force just as the city is in the middle of a violent crime wave.
All right, and that includes dozens of detectives last month alone. Teresa Priolo has more on why they're saying enough's enough. Teresa.
Steve and Lori, looking at the numbers, almost as many cops have resigned in the first half of 2022 than in all of 2020. This mass exodus, the result of an aging police force, but also the result of certain laws like bail reform, mixed with what some officers perceive to be an anti-police climate.
The search is on for the next generation of New York's finest, now that veteran cops are resigning or retiring en masse. 100 detectives retired in June alone. Another 75 are expected to turn in their badges in July. Paul DiGiacomo is president of the Detectives Endowment Association.
It's very disturbing. When you're losing this amount of detectives, it's going to be a drastic effect on public safety.
Not just detectives. It's NYPD members of every rank. In 2020, 553 cops resigned, 2,599 retired. In 2021, 1,053 resigned, 1,654 retired. And for the first half of 2022, 497 have resigned already, 594 have retired. Michael Alcazar is a retired NYPD detective who spent 39 years on the job.
My friends are showing up to jobs, responding to a job to handle an assignment, and they're getting flack from the community. The community, what they feel like the community doesn't appreciate them, doesn't want them there, and they can't do their job.
There can be no denying a marked shift in sentiment toward uniformed officers throughout the pandemic. But then there's bail reform and a change in the way the DAs are handling cases. Detective Alcazar points out the officers up for retirement are also a part of a very large class.
When older guys are like my age, staying till like 30, and then they're throwing them back on patrol, it's probably not good for your health for most guys. We can't handle patrol. We're old men in our 50s. We can't go back on patrol. So age absolutely comes into the formula.
The problem is not only are officers retiring, new prospects aren't signing up in equal numbers.
Okay, now, this is pressure from above, pressure from below. A lot of these so-called truthers out there, or even the news media, what they usually do is they give you a certain degree of transparency, but they feel they sort of put layers of transparency. Sorry, they put layers to that transparency in terms of what they're going to bring out in terms, you know, regarding the truth. Now this guy's talking about age, people are not signing up, okay, etc., etc., etc. That's because a lot of people know that you may have to take the you know what, the thing with the thing with the thing, you know, that affects your immune system to be a part of those people, and that's a factor. You've already seen, you know, in recent days, where a lot of the army have quit as well because they don't want to take the thing with the thing with the thing. Okay, and because at the end of the day, being in the army, especially for Jake, there's opportunities. You get your room and board paid for. Uh, you know, um, you know, you also get other benefits as well. Benefits as well. You can get educated and all that kind of thing. You can travel the world. Obviously, during peacetime, you can do all that. But a lot of these, Jakes that have signed up, they don't realize that they signed their life away because, ultimately it's a decision of Yahweh Bashim Yashai. But a lot of these Jakes have signed up, and the war's going to begin. They think that I'm going to travel the world, and a week later the war begins, and that's that for them. And they got to fight. And on the army, on the flip side, they make a lot of money off the street. There's good benefits and stuff like that with regards to retirement and all that kind of thing. And the fact that if people are not signing up, there's something serious coming, and they've got some inside information because there's a lot of put it this way, a lot of clubs, okay, clubs, okay, if you know what I mean, within these police forces. Hence the term blue bloods, or they've got the Masons or whatever, and they know certain things on a lower level that's coming that they're probably preparing to take care of their families. World War III, for example, remember the movie World War Z when Brad Pitt was with his missus, I think, or was on his own inside a supermarket, and he was grabbing food and things that he needs, and then a copper runs in. It was a Jake police officer, by the way, which is showing Jake in that him being foolish. He's staying right till the end when hell's breaking loose. No, he hasn't taken a flight. You know what? Let me take care of my family. This idiot left last minute, but that's neither here or there. But the fact that he comes in, he had a rifle in his hand, right? Or did Brad have a rifle? Well, yeah, he had a strap in his hand, and then Brad had his rifle or whatever. He ran in. Brad puts his hands up, and he just runs right past Brad just to get some baby food, okay, for his children or his child, okay. So a lot of these coppers know, and a lot of these coppers are not even, or these Centurions are not even responding to real serious crimes out there. So basically, the society is collapsing. You see what's happening in Sri Lanka, and this news is from 6th of July, and today's the 9th. And you see what's happening in the UK as well, where I reside, where the government is collapsing as well. And Adawan Rataza, this speeds up even more like a domino effect, and this MFI just goes, man. You know what I mean? And obviously, they know possibly something's coming. Okay, they don't want to take the thing with the thing with the thing and the arm. They're preparing to take care of their family, whatever they've got to do. Maybe move to a state where gun laws are slightly more freer, so they can strap up or they put some shit away, food and weapons or whatever for their family, especially all the ease. Jake's probably just going to stay in their brownstone or wherever they reside until hell breaks loose, and they're going to have their little 38 or their little 22, for the so-called race war, what's about to come. Okay, so this is happening all over, man. This thing is basically the fire has begun from ages, but it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter, man. It's at the point where the pressure cooker's not whistling at the moment, but it's going to get there, full boil. 2nd Ezra 15:15, for the sword and destruction, for the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Now you already know that in Sri Lanka, the people, okay, have the people, basically the countrymen, have surrounded the house of the prime minister or the head of the country, okay, and they're ready to take his head off, man. And people are, with the British, especially the E's over here, are a little bit more reserved, but they, but there's a portion of them that are slightly rowdy as well, and it's getting to that point where they're tired of the government, and then you got the same thing happening. America is such a huge place, being New Egypt and Babylon combined, and Rome and all that kind of thing, with the Moors and all that. Yeah, each state has got its own separate bit of destruction, man. But each state is like a damn country, damn near. So this place is gonna go, man. They're talking about 8 years left for the Karagma to occur. When everyone will take. I don't believe it's that much time, man. That's almost a decade away, man. I mean, ultimately it's up to Yahweh Bashim Yashai, because we can't decide anything. He's got the power of everything, man. Every single move that we make, whether we even wake up that morning, it's all upon the Heavenly Father and our King. So But I believe through the Spirit, with the way things are going, and all the GMOs and all that kind of thing, and wickedness increasing and all that kind of thing, and the financial system's going to collapse soon. I believe we don't have long left, man. I don't believe so. I believe we don't have long left here, and I don't want Ratazar. Hope that's the case, but it's all upon Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. 2 Ezra 15:19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay, they got no choice. Some of them have to leave their job because of the thing and other reasons. So they're not going to earn their daily bread. When they're not on their daily bread, they've got a wife or a couple of women or whatever the situation may be, and children to feed. It's going to get to the point where feel cool with Larry or Mohammed or whatever next door or across the street or in the same building. When times are good, when times are bad, that's when people show their real colors, man, or their true colors. These people are going to kick each other's doors down, man. And especially if they've been looking at your wife and your wife dresses in a certain way, or she just dresses that way, and even though she's covered up, you can still see the fact that the Lord has blessed her with a really nice shape, and and especially if she's really pretty in the face as well. A lot of men are going to be eyeing her up, thinking, "Man, I want that," because they're wicked, And even though she may act, what's the word, stuck up, and may not look at you that way, or and that's going to even because a lot of men like that when women act that way, so they can break them down. Especially when these women, especially that are single, a lot of men, man, are frustrated. They've been they've been put through the ringer, and they're going to come at you, women, man. They're going to come at you, women. Okay. A lot of you that jump from rod to rod, you're going to get it. You're going to get a lot of rod that day, man. Especially when these martial law troops come, especially these crackers from abroad and other heathen nations. And Elam, because Elam tries to chat you up as well, isn't it? You Benjamite women, not you Benjamite, hey, some of you Judite women, because of this World Wide Web. They're going to come here, those Elamite soldiers, whatever they're going to be, or other heathen nations, especially if they don't have a lot of women of color. They're going to come for you Northern Kingdom women, especially because, because our women are super fine. There's no doubt, but they're not right in the head. Even there's a lot of foreigner women, man, whoever you are, you're going to get it too, because usually amongst heathen women, especially like East Indian women, you go amongst them, they're usually the super fine ones are usually Jake. That's what I've noticed, because they got the shape, they got the face as well. And even the brothers that look sharp amongst them are usually Jake. Not always the case, but 7 times out of 10, I would say, because, collectively Jake, so I'm digressing there. Anyway, so lucky for that. Isaiah 13:16, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. Now they either, if there's a lack of food, they're going to take your children out, especially if they're young, easier, the meat is slightly tender, less chopping up to do, and or they might just take you out and your children just to get at your wife, and there's certain people in this world, man, that are allotted for this, as well as nuclear fire or starvation, and that's a real scary thing, man. Hebrews 10:31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. The living power's name is, Adawan Yahweh Alahainawa, or Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Rakakodash, man. So just pray without ceasing and have faith, and just keep going, man. And the main thing is to remember, I said, whether you live or die, but make sure it's in Yahushai, Hamashiach Yahushai. This is what came to mind. Live. I remember reading the scripture somewhere there. Okay, that's it. Romans 14:8. That's the one. I usually use certain keywords just to try and find the scripture, man. Romans 14:8. For whether we live unto the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, and whether we die unto the Lord. Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are the Lord's. You know? It could happen, man. You know? Because remember, the tribe of Gad used to say one thing, if you watch movies, he died a good death. And why did he die a good death? Because he didn't cower down, man. He didn't bow down. He didn't get scared. He picked up his weapon, jumped on his horse, you know, prayed, because we are spiritual people, even though Gad was off in praying and, you know, what they were praying to, yeah, and went to war. And if he died like a man, not crying, not screaming like a goat the way Esau does, or hailing, or wailing like a goat, died like a warrior, died like a lion, that's a good death. So if we are going to die, may the Lord put the spirit on every Jake, man, that's got to go through that, and even our women, or even our children. But it's all upon Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, man. Anyway, yeah, man, this kingdom is done, man. I don't want what desire speeds up even more and more and more. Anyway, all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, Bashem Rakakodash, Shalom.